Welcome to the HighFrontier Design Mode tutorial. This is where you design a space colony. You'll notice three palettes around the edges of the screen. The Parts palette has various components that go into your colony. The Configuration palette lets you adjust the properties of the currently selected part. And the Analysis palette tells you things about the current part or the whole colony. Notice that each palette has several tabs of information, so you do need to click through to see it all. So let's get started. First, any colony needs a livable space, which means one of the components on the Living tab. A cylinder is nice and simple, so let's pick that. But watch out for stability problems. A long cylinder will tumble end over end, and we don't want that. To check the stability, go to the Peel tab on the Analysis palette, and that shows you the stability ratio. If it's no good, there will be a little warning icon. You can always click the warning icon for more information. To fix it, keep your eye on that stability ratio while you adjust the geometry of the cylinder. I'm going to make this cylinder a bit fatter, and I'll flatten the end caps. In fact, I'll invert them a little bit. That makes it a lot more stable, so then I can make it longer. I should explain about the camera controls. By using the right mouse button and dragging, I can move the camera around and sort of pan around my design. Now, every colony also needs at least a source of power. That's under the Utility tab. Nuclear plants are nice and simple. Solar panels are more fun and cheaper, especially for small colonies, but we'll go with a nuclear plant in this case. Now notice that when the cylinder was selected and I added a new part, it attached itself right to the top of the selected part. If that's not where I want it, then I can just grab it and drag it away, and you'll see these little green balls showing where it can be attached. Again, remember to use the right mouse button if you want to change the view. So I'm going to take this nuclear power plant and attach it to the bottom of my cylinder instead of the top. Note that if I want to move the whole colony assembly, I can grab a part on the bottom and push it up towards the other parts, and then they stay stuck together and I can move them around. But if I grab it and pull away from the other parts, then they detach. So with a little bit of practice, you'll be able to arrange and attach these parts however you like. Now, we also need some docking ports for our colony so that transport ships can come and go. Those are found in the Utility tab. It's attached itself right to the top, as before, because there was an empty attachment point there. I don't actually want it there since I have the inverted end caps. That looks a little funny, so I'm going to go to Structure and add a box. That's not where I want it. I want it in between. Snap these together, and then I can adjust the geometry of my box. I'm going to make it skinny, like it's just a connecting strut between the docking ports and the colony itself. Notice that when you want to change one of these geometry values, you can either type a value and press return, or you can grab the slider and drag it around. Of course, if you're trying to get a specific value, it's much easier to just select the number and type what you want. So let's see, actually Y is this direction. That value is not so important, but in my case I'm going to make the X and Z both 10, so I've got a nice skinny little strut. In fact, I'm going to increase the Y even further so that I have room to add a communications dish, which is also found in the Utility tab. You don't have to have all these parts, but if you don't, your residents will probably complain. Finally, this is very important, we need to provide some artificial gravity. Floating around is fun, but it's no way to raise a family. So select the cylinder, go to the Usage tab, and adjust the spin. Again, watch the Analysis palette until you've got it just right. As I increase the spin, the level of artificial gravity increases. Of course, if you increase it too much, you'll have too much gravity, which is no good either. We want a gravity level around 1.0, which is to say 1 Earth gravity, just like we've got here. So just tweak the spin until you've got it just right. The other thing you want to think about is radiation protection. You can see the radiation levels on the Bio tab of the Analysis palette. The radiation level depends on where you're building. If you're going to build in low Earth orbit, you basically don't need to worry about this because you're protected by the Earth's magnetic field. But if you want to build further out, then you'll need to either increase the soil depth or add some additional shielding. And that's basically it. You can go to the top of the screen, type a name for your design. I'll call it, I don't know, Happy World, and then click the Save button to save it to disk for future use. At this point, you can either click the Menu button to go back to the main menu, or click the Build button to go right into build mode.